Hello Wobblies, welcome to Wobbly Otter Outdoors. I'm Chris, and in this episode we're taking a look at dehydrated meals, eating them in camp and for emergency preparedness. This episode is made possible in part by generous supporters on Patreon. This isn't a paid promotion, we purchased all of these meals ourselves. In one of our trip videos in the comments, Alex asked us, how do you like the ready-to-eat meals? Are they tasty? So in this video, we're going to try 3 different meals, 3 different brands, and see how we like them and see if they're tasty. To have a little variety in what we're trying out, we're going to try the Wise Company teriyaki chicken and rice, the Mountain House fusilli pasta with sausage, and Wild Zora savory chicken and veggies. While we're waiting for the water to boil, we're going to open up each of the packages and take out the moisture absorber. It's really easy to forget to take out the oxygen absorber, but for most of the packages they are very close to the top, and that helps make it easier to find them. Let's show you what it looks like inside each. This is the Mountain House teriyaki chicken and rice. This is the Zora savory chicken and veggies. This is the Mountain House fusilli pasta and sausage. The teriyaki chicken takes 2 cups of water for 2 servings. The Wild Zora, this one calls for 1.5 cups of hot water. Oh wow, it's very fluffy. And this one is 1.5 cups of water. So we're going to let all of them go for about 5 minutes. We will stir the Mountain House. As for total preparation time, the teriyaki chicken of Wise Company says to let it stand for 12 to 15 minutes. One thing we've learned from experience is that the ready-to-eat meals, especially at an elevation, you need to let them stand half again as long as they say to. So if the directions say to let it stand for 10 minutes, then we let it stand for 15. So this one says 12 to 15. We'd add about another 5 to 7 minutes on top of that, which would give us about 22 minutes for the teriyaki chicken and rice. This is the first time we're trying the Zora meals. It says to let it stand for 5 to 15 minutes. I think we should add about 5 minutes to that. So we're going to let this one stand, the Zora, stand about 20 minutes as well. The Mountain House says to let it stand total for 9 minutes. We're going to let it stand for at least 15. So we'll wrap up this one first and then these 2 right after that. One thing we learned from a video by Darwin on the Trail, I'll try to find that video and put a link in the description, is that if you put the meal in a insulated pouch, then that will retain the heat a little better when it's colder outside. In that video, Darwin on the Trail shows how to make an insulated pouch out of a windshield screen. This is the one that we made. It was a palm tree sunset windshield screen, one that's made out of like bubble wrap, and then you cut it to the size you want. We used gaffer's tape on the side. We put a little accordion base in the bottom to help it stand up a little, or at least have more room in it. And like Darwin on the Trail, we also put Velcro on the little flap so we could seal it up and it would stay warmer. And what you do is you take your little pouch, you put it inside. We made ours big enough where we could put 2 in, and then you seal it up, and that helps retain the heat. While those meals are getting ready, let's talk a little bit about why we even take dehydrated meals camping with us. There's basically 4 reasons. 1 is we're short on daylight. 2, we're short on time. 3, the weather isn't cooperating. And 4, we just don't feel like cooking. The reason we looked into freeze-dried food in the first place is because we were looking into creating an emergency preparedness food stash. Several years ago, when we started looking at our emergency preparedness plan, well, we decided first that we needed one, and then we had to decide what emergency we were planning for. It's kind of important to have a goal. So in our area, the weather is really the greatest concern. We may have a tornado or an ice storm. Either one could wipe out power, and for us, because we have well water, that also takes away our tap water. The emergency we decided to plan for is if we're without water and power for 30 days. That's something we thought we could do without any trouble to prepare for, and that would cover the majority of our concerns, and that would give us plenty of time to regroup after the emergency actually happened. So that means we need 30 days of food and water for both us and our dogs. For the water, we've done a video before about our water bricks that we use. We have 20 of them. Each one of them holds 3.5 gallons of water, so that gives us 70 gallons of water for us and the dogs. We also live within walking distance of a lake and several other above ground water sources. So if our water purifiers, our water's good. So that takes us to food. For the 30 days, we decided to go with dehydrated meals. That would be the most compact and also portable, which was another consideration that we decided to make. If we have an emergency where we need to leave our home, then we wanted the food and water. We wanted to be able to carry that with us. At the time when we looked, the choices came down to basically Wise Company and Mountain House. Both of them provide buckets and canisters of food for emergency preparedness purposes. And at that time, we decided to go with Wise Company. For the price and what we got, we felt like it was a good fit for us. That's what these 2 large buckets are. Each one of these contains 120 servings. This one has 120 breakfast and cereal type meals, and this one has 120 servings of entrees. Both of these are Wise Company meals. You can tell that the packaging is different. The one on your left is the type that's used more for camping, where you open up the pouch, pour the water in, seal it up, wait a certain amount of time, and then you can eat out of the pouch or serve it out as you wish. The one on your right, this is the type of package that comes in the emergency preparedness buckets. This particular one contains 4 servings, and for it, you heat up the water or have your container of water and pour the meal into it to let it rehydrate. Whenever you're thinking about emergency preparedness regarding food, one major thing to consider is how long your stockpile of food will last. With both Mountain House and Wise Company, their emergency preparedness food shelf lives are a very long time. Mountain House is 30 years and Wise Company is 25. The little wild Zora meal we're trying out is not considered an emergency preparedness food. They're paleo meals to go that have meat, like this one, have a shelf life of 3 years. When looking at both Wise Company and Mountain House, both of their meals taste good. There are some meals that we like more than others, but that's just a matter of preference. The quality of the meals has always been good for both of these. And yes, we have favorites. With Wise Company, I really like their pasta dishes. With Mountain House, we really like the breakfast skillet. It is fantastic when you put it on a tortilla and have a breakfast burrito. Wonderful. Another Mountain House meal I really like is the pasta primavera, and the reason is because of all of the vegetables that are in it. It is fantastic. The pasta is good and the vegetables are very good. It's got zucchini, cauliflower, broccoli, red and yellow peppers, green peas, and spiral macaroni in a Parmesan cheese sauce. Oh my God. And we will often drain and add a little can of chicken to it. And I want to mention too, for the emergency food preparedness, we also try to keep our pantry well stocked. What the dehydrated food does is give us that extra buffer, and it's also something that if we need to leave home, then we have something we can take with us, provided the food survived the emergency too. That's a whole different story. We let the mountain house fusilli pasta reconstitute for about 15 minutes. There's plenty more in the pouch. We're just putting out this much so you can have a look at them and we can try them. Oh, it's nice. The sauce, even though it's a tomato sauce, is very light, and the noodles are al dente. They're just perfect. There's no crunchiness, everything reconstituted well. Oh, I like it. First time I tried that one, I like that one a lot. I think I like it better than their plain spaghetti. The wild Zora is quite different in consistency. It is more like a chopped meal. There's no sauce. The teriyaki chicken and rice turned out to be more of a saucy meal. It has a sauce with it, which I didn't expect. Okay, this is the wild Zora, the savory chicken, which is like a chicken bite, and veggies. That wasn't chicken. I honestly don't know what that was. That was chicken. It's good. The chicken is warm through. It's reconstituted fully. It has an acceptable texture. It isn't particularly juicy. The savory curry and vegetables is a totally different type meal, obviously, than the pasta sauce, because this does not have any sauce in it. It's good. It certainly doesn't taste bad. It's not over the top exceptional. It doesn't have a lot of seasonings in it. It's basically the vegetables and the meat. And if that's what you're going for, then it's a very good job of that. Next is Wise Company's chicken teriyaki and rice. And again, it came out creamy, which I should have known from looking at the powder that was inside that it was going to be creamy. It tastes very good. You can taste the teriyaki seasoning right away. And also, as if it's made with a chicken stock base almost, there is a rich, flavorful chicken kind of taste along with the subtle teriyaki. It's surprisingly good. The meals we chose were each quite diverse, which makes it hard to compare them on a one-to-one, but it does show you the variety that is available with the freeze-dried meals. And I think I've called them dehydrated meals sometimes. I think technically by and large they are mostly freeze-dried, although some of them do have dehydrated parts in them. As far as how they reconstituted, they all did well. The only directions that specifically said to stir after 5 minutes was the mountain house. I would recommend doing that no matter which one you have. The mountain house easily reconstituted the most uniformly. The pros and cons of freeze-dried meals. The con, they're expensive. The pro, they're convenient. Let us know in the comments below what you think about all this. Dehydrated meals for camping, if you've used them, what you think about them. Are there any brands that we didn't mention that you really like? And feel free to chime in too on the food preparedness. We share the stuff that we do in hopes it may help you, and the things you share in the comments are not only beneficial to us, but to anyone else who comes along and reads the comments as well. So we thank you very much. Thanks for watching, Wobbly Otter. We love you and hope all your tomorrows are bright. Until next time.